we are ready to go to game. Over to our casters it is. Here we go, main stage action once again. Winner side of things, we've got Jersey and Gaskin, who always stay winning, so they can never take the L. Guys, let's get into it.
Thank you so much, Dottie. We cannot wait to jump into this, and I think series layouts are always massively important. They spoke about it on the desk. Sometimes you need to win 3 games to snipe down's head. That's the case in almost every series here in Space Station, although the underdogs, there's world champions on that stage. They have more than just a chance.
Yeah, there is a couple of game types that I do think favor Space Station in a series layout as well, which is not something you can say often when you're going up against Shopify Rebellion. In particular, that Slayer Streets is an outlier when it comes to this Rebellion roster. They are 1-6 across this season, which sounds pretty crazy when you're looking at this team who just seems to be winning on every single map. But it has been their worst, so maybe that is a chance for Space Station to try and nick one away in this series layout.
Capture the flag. Origin is going to be our game number 1. Dan, you're always a man with statistics. Tony spoke about how he doesn't like it for SSG. Tell us why.
I don't mind it for SSG. Not to disagree with the desk, but SSG are 3-0 across the season. I think it's a good game type for them. On the flip side for Rebellion, they are 4-1, so both teams are confident on it. I think it is a map and mode that fits both teams' play styles. They know how to control the map. They know when they need to be focusing on the sniper side or the rocket side. So I think this is going to come down to a couple of individual plays. You know, do we get a Renegade moment like from Optic Gaming, where suddenly he just pulls out a 10-kill sniper spree and completely flips the game on its head? We have 8 players on this stage that can all be capable of something like that.
And it's so interesting, right? Because when the best players are on that stage, sometimes we talk about how important teamwork's going to be, momentum, all that good stuff, but sometimes it does just come down to one play and a little moment of magic from a player like Renegade, from a player like StelluR, when they get that sniper rifle, hitting faces and carving opportunities open for their team.
And I know full well that StelluR is capable of it as well, but I am kind of waiting to see StelluR back in his prime yet again. I'm waiting for this Space Station team to kind of show us what they're truly made of. I don't feel like they've hit their ceiling yet. There is confirmation of the map set records for these teams on these maps. As I said, Street Slayer, not a great one for Shopify Rebellion. But then when we look a little bit further into this one, Last is King of the Hill, even though we don't have much data, Shopify Rebellion still haven't lost on it. Lifefire Oddball hasn't been great for SSG. But that Aquarius Slayer, if we do get there, it is another game type that both of these teams have been very successful on, which you would imagine would create an explosive ending to this series. But that's the real question. Do we get there? With the way that Shopify Rebellion have been playing so far this tournament, it is hard to look past them winning this one comfortably.
And I like your point about Space Station Gaming, how they haven't really hit their peak yet. It's almost like they're laying dormant, waiting for something to happen. They had a moment against Optic Gaming where they went up by 2 but then got reverse swept. We're still waiting to see these 4 players click.
Yeah, especially considering when this team was kind of reformed after the changes happened. It felt like it was Space Station forcing these changes. They were the ones who wanted to make the changes. These were the players they wanted on their team as well. But it just hasn't quite got there. Now that can all change in a moment, and it could be the perfect timing with this being the last major, then going into the World Championship in less than a few weeks. You could have timed it absolutely perfectly for your peak here.
What a time it would really be for these teams, particularly for Space Station, to find that form and carry it forward just a couple more weeks into Worlds. This could truly be a great appetizer for this team. And what a statement it would be if they can get the job done over Shopify Rebellion.
But that's easier said than done with how Shopify have been playing so far this tournament. You look across every single player on that side and none of them look out of place. None of them look like they are struggling at the moment. It is hard to find a weakness.
And it's something I have to say about Shopify Rebellion. When it comes to consistency, we do not see them fall into a banana skin. We do not see them trip up in pool play, in winners bracket round 1. They're so consistent. Their performance levels, their output, they will always be there or thereabouts when it comes to the winner finals.
And that will be where their eyes are set. Securing winners finals and then on to potentially the grand finals as well. They have avoided the first banana skin in Optic Gaming, but now SSG are going to be the next target for them. And remember, on the other side of the bracket, we have FaZe and TSM. Both 2 teams who maybe would like to have a stab at Shopify Rebellion as well.
All to do for Space Station Gaming. 4 players sit across from them, and they're the defending champions. But just last year, it was StelluR and Eco who were those champions for 4 out of 5 tournaments. And how fortunes have shifted. Now they find themselves chasing the pack. They were atop that mountain for so long last year. and you know they'll be hungry for success.
I'm a little bit worried though. I mean, I look at the series layout, and yes, even though Slayer Streets maybe opens up an opportunity for SSG, there is a world where this is a 3-0 in favor of Rebellion as well, just because they've been so dominant. And they're going to be confident after that win against Optic Gaming in particular. Like, that would have been their biggest concern. This tournament, when they came into it, we are worried about Optic Gaming. That's been their main competition so far this season. With them now brushed to one side, it's about getting to that grand final and saying, all right, let's see if Optic can make that miraculous run yet again through the elimination bracket before we have to face off against them yet again. But this Rebellion roster, when it was formed, you know, it was off the back of the changes that Optic Gaming had made, the God Squad that was created, and Shopify Rebellion seemed to have had a pretty good form after being in this position.
Not only that, but the team was formed not just after Optic Gaming, but after Spacestation Gaming as well. So this team came about almost like remnants of what was left, and they have found success. Second place after second place, but then finally getting over that hump. They looked like, was it just going to be online competitions where they've seen that success? Finally getting their hands on that trophy in Salt Lake City, and how sweet that must have felt.
And it was Frosty and Royal 2 trusting in two players who hadn't necessarily been in the limelight as much. LastShot and Cykul hadn't won championships, hadn't been lifting trophies, but now they have. And the real question is, can they go on to win a world championship? And in the moment, in the form they've been playing, I think absolutely they can, and it really would be quite something. When you look back at the Halo history books, the teams that have been formed, those who have gone on to win world championships, this for me would be, it would remind me a little bit of like Splice and what Splice did in Halo 5. They went against the grain, they took down the greats, they took down the big names, and even though this roster does still include a couple of the biggest names, it's just the fact that you get some new faces on your screen lifting trophies.
And how funny is it you talk about LastShot, you talk about Cykul, how Frosty and Royal 2, although a lot more experienced, they took a chance and they went on that roster. But Royal 2 might think it wasn't that long ago that him and Snakebite got a chance to play with some veterans. It wasn't that long ago Frosty was picked up by Royal 2 and by Snakebite. And now look at the career he's gone on to have. That is how you make a name for yourself. You play with some of the best if you can finally get that opportunity. And when you do it, you hold it, grasp it with both hands, and you put your best foot forward. And Cykul and LastShot have not looked out of place on that main stage.
It's about passing the torch, isn't it? It's about recognizing that you were in this position once and you trust that you can help guide someone and mold them into the player that you'd like them to be. But I don't even think that they needed that much work. I think Cykul and LastShot have fitted in so perfectly to this team that I'm sure Frosty and Royal 2 are kind of just raising their eyebrows at each other saying, maybe we've lucked out here because we've not had to really do much in terms of training. But thank you for bearing with us whilst these players were ensuring they had all their settings correctly. It looks like we are just about ready to kick off this series on CTF Origin.
Everybody's settings are in place, everybody's audio is working perfectly. Everybody's gamma is tuned to where it needs to be. Everyone's sitting as far away from the monitor as they would at home. Everyone's comfortable now and ready to go to work, ready to go to war with one another. It's Shopify Rebellion, 9-0 and 3-0 against SSG this season. It's a daunting task for Spacestation. Two of those players, former world champions. But it's all to do. Shopify Rebellion, and we're defending champions. And I cannot wait to jump into this one, Dan.
You're about to say shields up, weapons hot, but I was about to cool you down a little bit because sadly I think we are going to have to wait just a couple more beats before we get into this one. It's going to be a false start from what I've just seen on the observer screen. But yeah, 9-0, the record for Shopify Rebellion against Spacestation. So I don't think they're going to be too worried going into this one, but at the same time, they are very professional. They're very aware of the players they're going to be going up against and how quickly all of this can change in Halo Infinite. You might be able to dominate a team event after event after event, but all it takes is that flick of a switch and suddenly a team becomes your biggest rival, your biggest enemy, and it's them who are overturning you and finding themselves in grand finals. So you can't take anything for granted and you can't overlook anyone in this game because we've seen some tossed and turns throughout this tournament already.
Speaking of tosses and turns, Spacestation actually tested in pool play, going to a Game 5, finding that ice. And something we've seen after the Game 4 victory was Elamite and Eco. They were in deep conversation, probably trying to rally the troops, saying, let's not let this one slip through our fingers, let's not make a mistake here. But how important are the coaches for these teams? Players, former players like Elamite, best man, You have that experience behind your shoulder. You know when they make a play call, you can trust and you can believe in it.
Yeah, you need that fifth player, that fifth man behind you at times, just to calm you down in certain situations or hype you up in certain situations, as well as the obvious coaching things that come with the role for timing weapons and yada yada. But that's a dynamic that is always going to be built through your team and what you want from your coach. You might have coaches who are happy to take a step back. They're told that they shouldn't be communicating too much in game, wait until you're out of game, only focus on timings. And you might have a player that's particularly quiet on your team who your coach will often take the role for and will call out for them almost, because then that allows the player just to focus really on their game. Because I have seen a few players in the history of Halo struggle a little bit when it comes to trying to call out a bit too much, and they get a little bit lost in the sauce.
We even had the opportunity to stand behind Lunchbox when he coached against that series in Mind Freak, and although the series didn't go the way they would have wanted, the results didn't follow. The communication that he was passing over, just simple things, 2 dead, 3 dead, last player's here. So important to have that extra set of eyes across all 4 POVs. And when the information gets relayed, the players act upon it. And they prioritize taking those advantages. But thank you for waiting here, folks. Capture the flag, Origin. That is where we're going. The shields are finally up, the weapons are finally firing. We're underway here, folks.
Are the weapons hot though? Just to clarify.
Well, if you fire the weapon, it's typically hot.
All right, just wanted to double check, but Space Station, 3 dead already. Shopify Rebellion right off the rip will ensure that they start to push this base and get a flag running, and Suppressed is going to fall to the Rockets, and this flag is already halfway across the base.
What a start this could be. Weapons are hot. Shopify Rebellion are hot. Piping hot here. 1-0 already.
And they've got control, and they've got the sniper rifle, and they are hitting the shots with the sniper rifle as well. LastShot maybe watched Renegade, what he did for Optic Gaming a little bit earlier, and said, well, now it's my turn, as again, body shot after body shot, so important here for Rebellion.
The consistency of the body shots. So much damage. 3 dead again. 4 dead for Space Station Gaming. And LastShot just waits for fresh spawners. Cykul is there. This game has barely gotten started, and Snipe Down once said, the game has started. Do Space Station even know it so far?
I mean, this is only 1:20 into the game, and we're already potentially seeing a 3rd flag go across into the other base. LastShot's got it very far. 2 dead for Space Station. Flags going in. It's going to be a 1:30 game from Shopify Rebellion. We waited longer to get into the bloody game before we finished it. SSG didn't even start.
An absolute demolition job from Shopify Rebellion. The only word that springs to mind is flawless. Falcated moments away from goosing. All players, 2 players with 1 kill for Space Station. They barely got a chance to fire their weapons. That's how quickly it's over.
And remember, before this, SSG were undefeated on that map in mode. If that hammers home just how well Shopify Rebellion just played that, if you didn't already need it just by merely watching what happened, insanity. Might be the quickest game we've seen on TTF Origin, certainly on the main stage, certainly in a winner's semi-final between 2 teams of this caliber.
If you stepped out into your kitchen to make a cup of tea, and you said, oh, this game 1 should be starting any second now.
The kettle's not even boiled yet.
The game's over, folks.
Especially in America, where they're still using kettles on a stove.
Yeah, that kettle's whistling. Game 1's over.
Quick,
it's in the books.
Go make a tea now. This is your chance.
Get a room temp tea.
Unbelievable from Shopify Rebellion, and how about a statement of intent? And you can only imagine how it feels to be on the receiving end of that. I mean, you might have played a game of matchmaking where you felt something like that, but for it to happen on the main stage in that way, in that fashion, it is demoralizing. And this is where SSG need to now look to Elamite behind them, and he needs to be rallying the troops. He needs to say, all right, whatever, doesn't matter. We've lost 1. They played incredible. They got stuck on a pretty bad spawn trap. Let's move on to game 2, because game 2 is, in theory, one of Rebellion's worst.
I mean, you said Space Station have probably played games like that in matchmaking, but it goes by that fast.
Viewers have played it. I don't reckon SSG have ever played a game like that.
But maybe they were doing it to somebody else in matchmaking, but the issue is, when the game was that fast, I'm not sure you could even say we played the game there. That was how quickly it got out of hand.
You've made one call out to say, I think there's a guy in up. Oh, the game's over. That was
I didn't get a chance to play by play, I don't
like
think.
something I've never seen before. And if you want to get better at CTF Origin, I'd go back and watch that from Rebellion's POV.
It's easy. It's easy. You want to get better, hit all your shots, just keep bodying people. Just pick up LastShot. He'll probably bring you some success.
He was more than LastShot. He was first shot, second shot, third shot, and then the game was done. But Slayer Streets is where we're heading now. And as I've previously stated a couple of times, Rebellion are 1-6 on this map in mode. So it hopefully is a chance for SSG to get back into this series and maybe just brush that one off and forget what has just happened, because they need to lock in here. If they allow Rebellion to come out of the gates that hot again, we could be witnessing not just a fast game one, but a fast series.
For Shopify Rebellion, it's more of the same. For Spacestation, dust yourself off and go again. But it would not surprise me. Lesser players would be shell-shocked by what just happened. With so much experience on that stage, will we see a response from SSG now? Not only just a response, but winning this game is the only true way to bounce back.
Yeah, I feel like they have to win this game. You go 2-0 down here, I'm worried about them. I'm already worried about them, if I'm honest, but maybe if you're SSG, I think you try and take the wind out of Shopify's sails a little bit in the early stages. Slow this game down. Don't allow it to be at a pace where Rebellion are able to just run you down and take gunfight after gunfight without fail. And of course, that focus is going to often be on bottom middle when we have the power-up spawning. But it looks like it hasn't really affected the early game. But it's still going to be an early lead for Shopify Rebellion.
Trades back and forth. LastShot, double kill, stock rifle, sticky grenade, repulsor. He has the whole toys, he has the whole sandbox, he has the whole playground. And he's over back tower, he has a teammate there as well. Suppress has come looking for a fight, and he's gonna get one. And he wins it. Royal 2 settles for a trade, knowing there was an enemy combatant coming behind him. Eco in the arcade. Firing off the back foot, Cykul down to no shield, StelluR's grenade lands perfectly at his feet. This is good for SSG. This is better. At least now we're firing our guns.
Yeah, they just need to make sure they're watching each other here. Don't take too many individual fights and get caught out, otherwise Rebellion really will run away with it, but it's already a 6-kill lead. Don't want to allow this to get to like 10 plus. Otherwise Shopify Rebellion I think will be in full cruise control and start to run you down here. But you can see Spacestation, they're trying to escape. Suppressed was running away there, and thankfully he did run away to a team.
Are we looking at the Rebellion or the Empire right now? Absolutely terrifying. SSG have got a couple of kills back. That will mean that LastShot is forced to slow down here. Frosty helps LastShot cross map to get that kill. Falcated over towards the staircase. StelluR inside tram. Players spread out all over the map. LastShot's in trouble. Should have went down, but didn't.
So it's a 5-kill lead for Shopify Rebellion. And I'm sure they were very hyped after that first game, but it's about focusing and it's about staying composed, which I'm sure they will be. But a chance to really find that out. Let's jump into a listing of Shopify Rebellion and check those comms.
Watch out, Target, watch out. I'll go cuts Preston, hold on. Actually, no, I can't. Watch him in, Matt, clear it so you can help us to see already. Go quick. I don't think I can see. Okay, Matt, get up on the map, you can look cuts. Yeah, can we walk down, go. No. We wait for their play. Ivy, the double challenge. Two min. Like it's outside. 2v2. I gotta be Preston. I'm walking pop C. He'll be out driveway. He's C-block, I think. C-block coming. Got one. Another meet. To your right. Ivy, weak Preston. Ivy, weak. Alright, good shit, Wyatt. Watch your PD. Yo, Target, last guy, Target. I'm running bin map to Target. Yeah, I'm going PD. Back in. Okay, can we charge? Okay, absolutely back in. Two's back in, Preston. Tires, Wyatt. Two's back in, Preston. Red bar, arcade. He's going B steps, red bar. B steps, red bar. Last two, wait, last two. Keep up, 2 shot, 1 shot. Another one, one more charge. B steps. Yeah, 2 on man, we can keep walking. Two. No, come back, 2. 1 shot, Ivy, 1 shot. Yeah, 2. Just go B. Playing sound 3 shot, Could be back there. Can you fight the P1? P1, looking? Yeah, I'm looking.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of passion in there, a lot of importance, but my favorite part was probably the collective. Yeah. Just to make sure everyone was on the same page. But Rebellion, I mean, you heard some things there like, let's wait for them to make a play, let's not force anything here, and those little minor details is what is keeping Shopify Rebellion ahead right now.
I think the call out at one point was let them make the play. They were set up for success. LastShot gets the double kill. You're trying to tell me this team's record on Street Slayer was 1-6 coming into this.
Correct.
Are we sure? Can we check the numbers again?
And again, I will always go back to the point that a bad game type for a team is going to be focused on when they are in scrimmage. Regardless of whether you don't scrim Slayers, you can still practice them. And you can still go over VOD review, and you can still check as to what went wrong. And it seems like maybe Rebellion have found all of the things that were going wrong previously, because it's going very right at the moment.
Camouflage for Royal 2. Team requires 14 kills, double their series lead. And they can just sit and wait. Information gained. StelluR slides across. They know it's going to be a pink hit. 3 players over towards Cafe, and Frosty's in big trouble. Frosty gets 2. Somehow, some way, Frosty's fighting out of the smoke. And SSG are just shadowboxing right now. They can't land a blow.
Yeah, Frosty landing a 1v2 is massive for Shopify Rebellion. It stops the Space Station push. It stops them getting any sort of map control. You might want to start chalking this one up to being 2-0 to Shopify Rebellion. They look flawless. Such little mistakes they're making. They have not made a single mistake. Some may argue that just giving a kill away could be a mistake, but that's not how Halo works. Sometimes you have to give kills away to get kills yourself.
You gotta move pieces around the board and find openings. When Shopify have found those openings, they've really punished SSG. This series so far has been absolutely terrifying. There's been almost a complete gulf in class between these two teams. This should have been far more competitive. But Rebellion have not been willing to give an inch here. 2 kills remain.
2 more kills, and Frosty, he's already hit a 1v2 in this game, and he might have to take another here. 49-35, make it 50. And Shopify Rebellion are looking terrifying. They are in championship form. They've already taken down their biggest rivals, and they are looking to shoot another team down into this elimination bracket. SSG taking a bathroom break, and boy, do they need it. Because at the moment, they are being outclassed.
Bathroom break required. An extra player required, it seems sometimes. Shopify Rebellion, flawless. 50-35. I don't even want to talk about the capture the flag game. It might take me longer to talk about it than the actual score took.
I forgot it happened.
When
can you miss it?
There's a look at the stats. Cykul 15-9-6. Royal 2 12-7-5. And I think someone in the back said Royal 2 across the tournament has never gone negative. And it doesn't look like he wants to do with this one either.
I don't even need to fact check that. I would just believe it, just because of how Royal 2 plays and how dominant a force he's been in the Halo scene for all the years he's been competing. How do you even get back into this if you're SSG? Remnants of Game 1 still on the brain, I'm sure. This bathroom break will be longer than Game 1, and the Rebellion fans are in the crowd, and they must be loving every second that they're watching right now.
I think it might be quicker to tell people what isn't longer than Game 1 than what is. Wonderful performance so far. All smiles on that Shopify Rebellion side, and none of them want to move. Those seats are hot. Don't go anywhere.
It's how confident they are and how comfortable they look as well. When I saw Frosty come off the main stage after their victory against Optic Gaming, and he looked like he had just gone for a walk in the park. they don't seem to feel that same sort of tournament anxiety that I've seen in other teams. They don't seem to be shaken by anyone they're going up against. They don't seem to be worried about who they're going to be facing.
And how much of that comes down to the fact that they've already gotten their hands on that chip? Would they be as confident? Would there still be some anxieties there had they not gotten their hands to lift that trophy? And are we seeing now the fact that they were able to do it, and they know what it takes now? Has that given them somehow a buff?
But it's all smiles and laughter on the main stage as well. How many teams have you seen be in this position, even dominated like this, but will be very focused, locked in on the screen, talking about the next strats, but instead they're making jokes and they're happy to be there. And I think that's beautiful to watch, because one of the things that always annoys me and has annoyed me across the history of esports is watching teammates who hate each other compete alongside one another and not enjoying themselves. We're playing video games at the end of the day, but if you can play video games, enjoy it, and be the best in the world, that's the perfect recipe.
Well, you talk about smiles and laughter on the main stage. How many times have we seen Halo 5, Frosty and Royal 2 lift the trophy and barely crack a smile?
Yep.
It was an expectation for them then. But now starting to find maybe some more enjoyment in the wins and the small things. And listen, I think I would enjoy being in the position I'm in right now as well.
And I think Royal 2 said that in an interview all the way back at the K-Stan Invitational right at the start of the season, that this team has just kind of brought new life to him and made him start to enjoy the game a little bit more and made him focus on different things. And sometimes you do need that kick up the backside, whether it's a team change, getting dropped, whatever. It has changed how Royal 2 and Frosty approach this game, and I love to see it. Wow, quick flash of TSM. What's happened in the TSM game? That's the real question, because that's going to be coming up. Remember, TSM are facing FaZe in the winners semi-finals as well. So I'm excited to see who's able to win that one.
You mentioned Royal 2 feeling like maybe perhaps it was a kick to the backside and you started to enjoy things again. Well, kicks up the backside. Well, if that's going around and you can put it in order, maybe it's Spacestation who actually need it more than most right now, because down 0-2, but there's being down 0-2, having lost 2 close games, but the way games 1 and 2, I don't want to keep harping on about it, but I also have to. It was dominant.
Why not?
Main ball carriers. LastShot eco.
No, harp on it. You should, because what we're seeing here is something pretty historic with the way that Shopify Rebellion are playing. We've had so many dynasties and we've had so many incredible performances throughout the years of Halo where teams have just gone through and wiped the floor with the competition, but we need to give Shopify Rebellion their flowers because they deserve it in how they're playing right now. They have changed a game which is difficult to change in its 4th year. It's hard to be innovative, it's hard to dominate in this fashion, but they have still found a way. Now, yes, there were the stats on your screen for ball players because we are going to be playing Oddball on live fire. If you're wondering about the stats that you didn't see earlier, Rebellion are 3-3 throughout the season and SSG are 2-4. So stats would suggest that Rebellion are the favorites going into this one, but I don't think you needed the stats to suggest who's the favorite for this one.
Stats also suggested in the last game that Shopify Rebellion were 1-6, and I have to have a word with some people because what I've seen on the screen, it's beggars belief how that was able to happen with how they played it. Perfect. But still time for SSG to roar back into life. Still time to rally. Maybe that little pause, that break, just enough time to discuss what went wrong, get your act together, sharpen up. We're on their way in Game 3.
Well, SSG have yet to take a map off of Shopify Rebellion all season long. Can that change here? And maybe be the start of a comeback, which does seem an age away at the moment, but all it takes is one moment. It is a good start from SSG. They do get 3 down for Shopify Rebellion and get control of the ball and sniper rifle. So a little break, a little step away from the setups. And they do look a little better on the grip. Oh.
Body shot for suppressed. Comes under fire. Pressure was too much. He goes down. Tried to get away with the help of the repulsor, but it just didn't work for him. But he has friends in high places.
Enemy has the ball.
Teammates there to get the kills. Cykul last man alive. Much better from SSG.
They can actually get a setup here. They've got, I think this is the first chance they've had an opportunity to breathe and think about the game. And we're only in map 3, or we're already in map 3. Map 1, they didn't get a chance to even think. Map 2, Shopify Rebellion were constantly on top of them. But now SSG just get to dictate the pace a little bit here. Shopify Rebellion need to show us what they can do to try and break setups.
Ball dropped. Enemy has
Much
the
can be
ball.
said when it comes to Halo. And what way to play, what play style is the most successful. Eco, nice body shot, dives at the big door. Oftentimes people will try and oversimplify it by saying play fast.
Ball dropped.
That doesn't just mean run fast and slide and things. That means that when you have advantages, you take them quickly. Some teams will be able to get an extra 10, 12, 13 seconds of ball time simply because they made the decisions a little bit quicker.
That's it, it's thinking fast, maybe it's a better way, rather than just playing fast. If you take too long trying to make a decision of, do we push this side, do we push that side, how are we going to break this setup? And the teams that are a little bit lower on the skill level are naturally going to take a little bit longer because they don't have that chemistry, they don't have those reps. Both of these squads should have those reps. They should have that knowledge of what they need to be doing in that moment because they played it so many times.
I think it can be said as well. Oddball is actually a really good game type for SSG to play here. It's one of our longest, if not our longest game type. More reps. Maybe just to acclimatize to the series because they just haven't gotten going so far. But this, in round one, showing more than just signs of life. They're really putting Shopify Rebellion on the back foot.
Yeah, I do typically prefer SSG on slower game types like Ball, like King of the Hill, set-up heavy games where they can have a little bit more time to allow the likes of Eco to just have a think about how they're going to plan, how they're going to set up, and how they're going to stop their opponents. Whereas the previous two games, it was just pretty pacey. They didn't get that chance. Royal 2 has found a sniper rifle, and that's always a bad sign. He's got a double, and he's also got the camo.
Down bottom middle he goes. It's a little bit early for trick or treat.
Ball dropped.
But he's got some bad intentions. Eco loses his shields, loses his life right after it. Falcated though, he was there to help.
Enemy has the ball.
Suppress waits for his shields to come back. It's a backstab from Frosty. And they both combine along with Cykul. Ball now in their control. And for the first time in the round, it looked as though Rebellion had enough for a setup. But just like that, Frosty goes down. This is good for him from SSG. Even when the numbers are against them, they're finding a way to slow down Shopify Rebellion.
It was a big stick from StelluR just to halt Rebellion. And SSG should be proud of themselves with how they've responded so far. And it will just probably be a bit of a surprise maybe to Shopify Rebellion, but at the same time, they know what SSG are capable of. My fear for SSG is what happens if Rebellion do get in control of this game again. They get an ideal setup. If they can begin to push the pace to SSG, do we see SSG crumble?
Ball dropped.
On board with StelluR. Up into the clouds. A lot of them going over towards sandbags. The information came that Royal 2 was weak, gets the kill. There are a lot of kills going down on the map. Not a lot of ball time to follow.
Enemy has the ball.
Game stays scrappy, staggered. But now, semblance of control for Shopify Rebellion. 3 members in the respawn screen for SSG.
So SSG lost a couple of players. They are still up, but they have to try and break this setup. This is a good chance to jump into a listen-in with SSG and see just how they do it.
Spawn mode. It's time in the vent, Donnie, in the vent. Guns vent, drop. Nice. I'm hitting big, guys. That's on me, kill me. Bottom me. Ball's half. Ball's 2 shots. Two dead.
Victory.
Last shot spawner. Still small. Last shot just spawned. He's gonna be big. They're gonna be big. Careful. Stay down, Mike. Small door right now. Screens with camo. Guys, spawn demo, guys. Michael camo. They're all there. They're literally all there. Screen jumping up. Nades. Front up nades, Frosty. 8 nades half on the pistol. No, trying to bring it towards. 8 nades again. 8 nades again. One shot. Small pit. Aim pistol. Nice, Brayden. Yeah, there's one. Nice jump. Two dead. Go for sniper. 2-shot killer. One out. 8 down. Gonna chop. Heavy.
Game clock's 1 minute. Start playing together more.
Snipe. Where?
Okay.
Yep. Last shot.
Can be getting played by Cykul.
Yeah, I agree. Back small or what? One shot back small. I killed Cykul. Shot back small.
A plan S.
Yeah, Zenus.
And again, it's another call from Coach Elam.
Enemy has the ball.
1 minute left, let's start playing together more, because even though there was early dominance for SSG, it's now Rebellion in control. It's Rebellion who have the lead with only 40 seconds remaining. It's now SSG who have to just up the pace a little bit and get control once more, but this is going to be difficult to do. This is playing into the hands of Rebellion. As soon as it starts to speed up, Rebellion get better. 30 seconds remaining, and they've got the ball.
Royal 2, snipe in his hands,
Enemy has the ball.
keeping his teammate alive. Suppress gets a perfect 5 on the last shot. That should open the door here for the setup to be broken wide open. Frosty top middle is there to capitalize on some damage. Cykul trying to stay alive desperately. Keep the ball out of the hands of SSG. Just delay.
Enemy has the ball.
He's the last line of defense. And as a matter of fact, SSG are quite happy. Just let him live. We'll take the ball. It's a heist. It's a smash and grab.
Ball dropped.
The issue now, 7 seconds on the clock, dwindling away. The ball's in no man's land. Shopify Rebellion, take round 1.
And that is going to hurt and might just be the final nail in the coffin for SSG here, because they did have the majority of the round in their hands in those early stages. But as soon as we jumped into that listening, Rebellion started to gain control. And we heard that SSG were trying to say that they were saying the right things. They were saying, we need to do this, we need to do that. But it's all well and good saying it, putting it into practice. When Rebellion are putting themselves in those kind of spots, taking those kind of angles, and shutting you down immediately, every single angle you push, it becomes frustrating. And SSG need to just find a way to pick themselves up yet again here, as they are constantly being pummeled.
Plans, strategies, they're great.
Ball dropped.
All until he gets shot in the
Enemy has
mouth.
the ball.
And there's been plenty of that. The Iceman finds another one.
Enemy has the ball.
Suppressed is there. Down to no shields. He's also taken care of. Wiped from the board.
Ball dropped.
Royal 2 gets one on the StelluR, who was the first spawner. Falcated on sandbags. Frosty with so much confidence takes the fight to him, despite the fact he had the cover of the sandbags.
Ball dropped.
And now the ball rotates towards green, and the option to play it is there.
Frosty cometh and Frosty taketh away, but what he takes away is your head, time and time again. 18 kills for the Iceman, alongside Royal 2 with 19. Shopify Rebellion have done so well to come back from what was somewhat a slow start, especially by their standards. And they're up again here in round 2, but Frosty was the last remaining player, which will allow SSG to take this ball over towards tower.
That's exactly where it's going. They're gonna take the road over by Mud. Uh-oh. Frosty's in hot pursuit though. Not interested in letting Eco get comfortable with the ball.
Enemy has the ball.
That ball's not safe.
Ball out of bounds.
Last shot gets 2. Ball got played though.
Enemy has the ball.
Cykul whisks it away. And he takes the exact same route that Eco did. Realizes it's not too safe that way either.
Enemy has the ball.
Ball trapped bottom middle. The rotate comes. The play call is in. Bring it Mud. You then still have the option to play it. As engagement's going down across the map. And LastShot continues to get kills here. Ball down, bottom tower.
And speaking of routes, if you just go back about 20 seconds and the route that Frosty took to go down into dirt and win that engagement, not only did he take down the ball and made sure he traded, but he also distracted SSG enough that LastShot could then take a route, overthrew dummies, and come behind 2 players. It was perfectly timed, it was perfectly in sync. And dare I say it, Shopify Rebellion are pretty much playing darn perfect.
The stats will show it was 1 kill and 1 death for Frosty. But what it was disruption. You kill the ball carrier, they can no longer set up. You open up avenues and parts of the map because Spacestation are now focused on you. Big plays. 80 seconds almost now on the board for Shopify Rebellion. And Spacestation Gaming, they've almost got too much to do at this point.
How has LastShot just got that kill? Suppress must have had a call. They had to focus elsewhere, but it's allowed LastShot to live, get the kill. Now Shopify Rebellion only 20 points away from winning not just this game, this entire series, and it will be another 3-0 sweep, which has been the story every single time Rebellion have gone up against SSG.
Ball dropped.
Rebellion just continue to be SSG's kryptonite.
Enemy has the ball. Ball drop.
They have not found a way to crack the code. Map count as it stands, 11-0. With this victory here in this round, with 11 more seconds, 12-0. A 100% perfect record. And that's exactly how they played. 3 dead for SSG.
I mean, they've not just been kryptonite for SSG, they've been everyone's kryptonite in this tournament so far. And Cykul looking to see if whether he can put the final seconds on the clock here.
Final moments tick away. A bit of nade damage, not enough to take him down. And Shopify Rebellion complete the clean sweep.
And it's yet another winners final that Shopify Rebellion will find themselves in, and they will await TSM or FaZe to try and get into, again, a grand final here at a major for the HCS. And the way they're playing at the moment, I wouldn't want to go up against them. Doesn't matter who's on your team. They're in championship form, and they are looking like the best team at this tournament. But they haven't faced everyone yet. Have to remember that. There is still a FaZe or a TSM that could potentially test them here. But everyone else that's got in their way has been brushed aside.
And for SSG, it's about dusting yourself off, licking your wounds. You've been here before. You've been in worse spots before. Still in the competition, still life in those veins. But it has to be given, the plaudits have got to be laid at the feet of Shopify Rebellion. Completely flawless.
25 and 19 for Frosty, 23 and 16 for Royal 2. And while LastShot, you know, he may have gone neg 5, but don't forget, that was an objective game. Plenty of ball time, and also if you think about some of the kills that LastShot got as well, hugely influential for that game. And I think what's important that we've just learned from Shopify Rebellion is, sure, game 1, whatever, they absolutely exploded, destroyed SSG. Game 2, pretty dominant as well, but they were always ahead. This map 3, they were behind. And they were behind by a good 40 points, where they weren't really able to get anything on the board. But they dug deep, they assessed what they needed to do, they altered their game plan, and they found success.